So how do we find the area? What formula do you use to find the area of like a rectangle? Right here. What would you use?
Length times height.
Okay, length times width. What about for the triangle? What formula is that? Do you remember?
Twig, do you remember?
1/2 times base times height.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so go ahead and turn your papers over. We're gonna check to make sure you can, these ones, your worksheet here, you can do these in action. So you've got 2 minutes, and I want, all right. So what'd you get for the first one, for the rectangle? What area did you get?
24 meters.
24 meters? So
Yeah.
Twig says the answer is 24 meters. What do you think?
I did 24 meters as well.
Okay. So if I had 24 meters, how big is 24 meters?
24 meters.
Multiply.
Because you said your units here are meters, right?
Yeah.
So we have our rectangle, we have 8 meters times 3 meters.
Mm-hmm.
So we have 24, but what happens when you multiply meters times meters?
Meters squared.
Meters squared. Okay, that's really important because you want to make sure that whoever you're telling the answer to knows you're talking about an area. So you want to make sure that you get that right. Those units, otherwise it won't make any sense, your response. Okay, how about we work on that bonus one together real quick. So here I'm just going to draw shape. It's a little bit less accurate than yours. That's okay. Don't laugh at me, it's a little bit wobbly. So how do you think we could find the area to this? Give me one way.
You want to way I did it? I don't know if it's right.
How'd you do it?
I did same as we did before, length times height.
Okay.
But then I noticed that there's like a quarter taken out over here, so I divided by a quarter the whole thing.
You divided by 4. Okay. What about you, Twig? What do you
I
think?
didn't even attempt it.
You didn't even attempt it. Okay,
I was
that's
thinking
all right.
about how to approach it.
Well, that's a start, right? Oops. Okay, this thing's weird. Oops, not as easy as I hoped it would be. I want to make sure that I can show you this way. Okay, so I have this thing here. Okay, oops, pretend that goes like this. And this is 2, and everything's 2, except when it's 1, it's 1. So there's 2 ways you could go about this. Well, there's probably more than 2. Maybe I came up with 3. So if you multiply length by height, you're going to get these empty squares here. Right, you're going to count for those areas, but those are empty, you don't want to do that. So what if we split it up? We pretend there's a line here, and we pretend there's a line here. Okay, so how about we take this rectangle here, which was a 2.
2 by 4.
2 by 4, which is what?
8 inches squared.
8 inches squared, nice units. And then we have these ones, right? What are these? What size are those?
Those are
1 by 2.
1 by 2. So 2 inches squared. And how many of those are there?
2.
Okay, so let's multiply this by 2. So we have 8 plus 2 times 2, which is what? 8. What's 2 times 2?
12.
4.
But 4.
Okay, so 12, what are the units?
Inches squared.
Nice. Okay,
That's one way to do it, huh?
that's one way to do it.
Okay.
Another way you could do it is you could multiply the whole thing. So you would have 4 by 4, and then you could just subtract out the emptiness. So all of those will give you the same answer, and it's nearly the same process. Okay, so let's move on. So there are answers. We have 24 meters squared, and then who got 250 centimeters squared?
I did too.
Did the hypotenuse being labeled throw you off?
32 centimeters?
Yeah.
No.
I just ignored it.
My trick did not work. Bad for me, good for you. Okay. So what do you think changes when you go from 2D to 3D?
You get height.
You get the
Length
Z
times width
axis.
times height.
There you go. Length times width times height. And what about your units? Are they the same?
Cube.
Yeah.
Okay, good job. All right, so now let's calculate some areas of these. Now, you can draw these pictures if that helps you, or you could just multiply by hand. We can just look at it. Okay, so tell me, visualize, what's the area of this?
Yeah.
9. Yeah. 9.
You can just call these cubes. We'll just
9
count each
cubes.
one. 9 cubes. Or sorry, what about the volume?
Oh, the volume.
Yeah,
okay.
that's what I meant.
Okay.
Excuse me.
So then we would do
It doesn't have an area.
27
It has a volume.
27. Yeah.
27
blocks squared. Or
blocks
cubed.
cubed. Okay.
Blocks cubed.
What if I told you the center was hollow?
Would you subtract by 1?
There you go. Good job. So it would be
26 blocks cubed.
nice. Okay. How about this shape? How could we calculate this shape's area? You can hold it, maneuver it around if you want.
Wait, how do we do this one?
So we just do the middle. The 2 by 3 by 3.
Oh, we do her method of doing a 3 by 1 and then break it up to this piece, and that piece. Right.
There's like a few ways you can break it up. I was thinking we cut
Or you
these
do
two off.
Yeah, that's good too. Okay, so then we do like a 2 by 3 and then a 2 and a 3.
Yeah.
Okay. So 2 by 3 by 3, right?
Yeah.
6. Okay, 18, and then just add the 5 more.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're 23.
So what's your answer?
23 units.
23
Units cubed.
units. Okay, good job. So how did you do it?
We cut the outer ones off and then add those later after
So-
calculating the middle.
Did you count it as if it were a whole piece and then subtract what was missing? Is that what you're saying? Or did you
No.
add it up by section?
We
Did you
subtracted
count?
the pieces first.
Yeah.
So we counted this black and blue
Okay.
by itself.
Uh-huh.
Took that out, put it over there.
Okay.
Didn't,
Oh, you just
3.
counted. Well, that's cheating. Okay. What if we
Well,
use
did-
our
we
what
did
if
the
we use
math,
our new
but-
formulas to find how could we do it? Give me one way. Similar to what we did here. What do you think? Actually, all 3 of the ways you could do. What if I pretended this was a whole piece without missing sides? Could I just multiply the 4 by the 4 by the 2 and then subtract what was missing? Would that give me the right area?
I don't see why not.
What about if I break it up into parts, if I just count this and then add the sides?
That's what we did.
That's what you did?
Yeah, we did 3 times 2 times 3.
Okay,
And then
I
add
see.
the sides.
We didn't.
Okay.
It's like hard not to count
It is hard not to
because
count.
it's in 1. It's by 1. So.
I will be honest in telling you that I verified my answers by counting, because you should always double check, and then counting is a for sure way to do it. Okay, let me hide my answer for this one so I can make sure I showed you. Uh-huh. Okay, all the ways I did, and I did 2 ways. What about this one? What do you think? Without actually doing it, how can you do it?
Because you do 3 by 3 by 3 times 2 minus 3.
It's a very good job noticing the minus 3, because if you counted 3 by 3 by 3 times 2, what would you be doing? What would your mistake be?
You'd be adding the 3 extra.
You'd be double counting, right? This
Mhm.
piece that's joined in the middle. Okay.
Okay.
How else? What's another way?
You can get 2 by 2 by 3, multiply that by 2,
Mm-hmm.
and subtract it from the total if you were to count it as a 5 by 5?
5 by 5 by
By 3.
by 3. Okay. Give me one more way. There's another way. There's probably more
And
than
this one
another
he
way.
said. What he said.
You want to tell him?
Sure.
What
So-
you want to show him?
We would take the 2 by 3, 2 by 2 by 3,
Okay.
this, multiply it by 2, because there's 2 instances
Okay.
of that, and then subtract it by the 5 by 5 by 3, and pretend this is a giant one.
Okay.
Do you see what he's saying?
Yeah. Could we do? Could we do it 2 by 3 by 3 times 2, and then do the middle?
Here, show me.
So we do 2 by 3 by 3 times 2,
Mhm.
and then we do a 4 by 1, or 4 by 1 by 3.
Nice. So why don't both of you take your preferred methods, write it out, try to include all your units perfectly, and then see if you can calculate the right answer for doing it that way. My timer went away. That's okay. Try this finicky thing again. Okay, do you got an answer?
I have 63 units cubed.
Twix says 63, Eddie says 51. Let's do it together. Okay. So, what do we want to start with? What piece? Do you want to do as if it's a whole thing and
I
we'll
wanna
subtract
do it-
what's missing?
I want to do it Twig's way because I still find it confusing.
Okay.
But
so,
I find it interesting that he thinks about it differently.
okay,
than I do.
so Twig, explain to me what you would multiply first, doing it your way.
I would multiply. I think I actually did it wrong.
That's okay. Doing it wrong is good. You remember it more if you do it wrong.
Try to do it as a whole.
Okay.
So it'd be 5 times 5 times 3, or 5 by 5 by 3. And then you gotta put those in parentheses, subtract it by 2 by 2 by 3.
2, 5, 3. Okay. So let's
And
start
then
there.
you multiply that by 2,
Oh,
which is what I forgot to
what
do.
you didn't do. Okay. So what's 5 by 5 by 3?
Mhm.
Somebody multiply that for me.
75.
Nice. Okay. And then
Subtract it
minus.
by 2 by 2 by 3, which is multiplied by 2, which is 24.
24. So 75 minus 24,
51.
51 cubic units. The mistake you made is actually the same mistake I made when I was figuring it out. I counted, like I said, to verify, and I knew that there were 51, and I kept forgetting that extra 2 when you
Yeah.
subtract what is missing. I kept doing 2 by 3 by 2, but there are 2 of those. So that was my error too. So I think that's a common error, but that's good because now we'll both remember when we're doing these types of problems.
Yeah.
So we can do what's missing.